word. It's a tough word. Patience. Everybody wants it. Nobody has it. Everybody's supposed to convey it. Very, very difficult to do.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about right field, but I think about it as for the Giants as a whole. How long do positive vibes go when you're winning 4 out of 10? So, in other words, and by the way, I'm not trying to this is not acceptable. Like, they played the Padres and the Dodgers. The Dodgers are very, very difficult. 2 of them were one-run games. And then they played the other 7 games against the Padres, and they went 4-3. That's a way to look at it where you're like, there's no panic here. And I believe that to be true. There is no panic here. On the other hand, right now I feel like the Giants fan base, and as evidenced by all the sellouts over the weekend, the Giants fan base is sort of just still in this honeymoon phase of this looks different. And as FP keeps putting it, it looks actually like what we're used to. It looks like baseball.
Right.
It doesn't look like someone's playing some sort of an algorithm. So that's great. But how long does that positivity last while you're out there, A, going 4-6, and B, you're still very much doing it in the way that the Giants have always done it. Like, that was kind of torturous, if you will. It's not because it's game 10.
Yeah.
But okay, so how'd you win the game last night? Well, we got in the 8th inning and they hit a ground ball at somebody. And then they threw the ball to second base, and then Jorge Soler ran into him, and the ball popped out of the glove, and it flew into the outfield, and then he went to third. And then there was it's like, okay, right? When are you, what I would love, and I think what the Giants fan base really wants to see, dude, thump someone.
Right.
Come out and just have 8 runs by the 5th inning and really look like you have that in your bag. And I don't know yet if they've got that in their bag.
But it sure doesn't seem like it. 8 of the 10, they've scored 4 or fewer. So, and 4 is usually enough to get the job done. 4 is kind of a target, I think, for
sure.
Not only this team, but most teams. If you have a good pitching staff, you try to get to 4 runs. You feel like if you get to 4, you can win. Although this year they are 0-4 when they've scored 4 runs. So, but they've won with 3. Couple of times. And, they put up an 8 and a 9 down in San Diego.
I don't know if this has changed through the years, but historically, the average score for a losing baseball team is 3.
Right.
That's the average score. The average score for the winning baseball team is 5.
Yeah.
So, 4 is a good number. It's a great
Especially
target.
when you have a pitching staff like you have.
And this park. No doubt. No doubt. I will tell you one thing that stands out to me, though, as you know how many home runs this team has? What would you guess in 10 games?
I think it's 11 or 12. I'll say 11.
You are actually too high.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they had 10 after 5 games or 6 games. Maybe they haven't homered in a while.
I'm trying to think now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Did they homer in the entire Padres series?
Grandy, you were there.
Did they homer in any of the 3 games?
I don't think they did. They definitely did not Saturday, Sunday, and I'm thinking back to the home opener. And
no. I mean, they didn't score on Saturday. Yesterday, it was a grinded-out 3.
Yeah,
Same thing
3
Friday.
straight games, no homers.
They have not homered in Oracle Park.
1-2-2, 1-1, 1-2, goose, goose, goose. 3 straight homerless games.
I got something.
Okay.
Could be uncomfortable because it's a jewel, and it is a house of memories and experiences.
Don't do it.
No, come on. But
before you do it,
don't
do it.
When does it become part of the issue that we're actually all talking about? Instead of screaming about Farhan or Yaz or whatever has your attention that given week, maybe you don't care. Maybe this isn't about the digging the long ball. They've won championships in this building. It is visually unbelievable. It is in the heart of, it's one of the most gorgeous things in sports.
Yeah.
Visually. Walking around, tonight would be unbelievable. I'm not going tonight. I wish I was tonight or tomorrow night. The weather's going to be spectacular.
Wednesday is going to be bananas with the day game.
Glistening off of the water,
Yep.
and Blake Snell, the reigning Cy Young Award winner, is going to be on the slab. There's nothing better than that. Unless you want to see some freaking offense. I don't know. What do we get? The Padres played the Giants. Forget the Giants lineup and how you feel about Soler and Conforto and Chapman now as actual middle-of-the-order hitters. The other team had Tatis and Machado and Xander Bogaerts, and the Giants' 6 total runs in this series, barely bested by the fact that the Padres scored a total of 8. 3 games, 14 total runs, and another, at least set of rumors from free agents in the offseason that were like, not playing there, not going there, can't hit there. I don't know, man. I'll put it this way. There's a growing number of people in my network of Giants fans, just fans now, friends, family members, whatever, getting more and more frustrated by the ballpark.
Because it's too hard to hit there.
It's too hard to hit.
And I wonder if it's ballpark or if it's weather or a combination of the two.
It's got to be everything.
Because, the fact that you do have pretty cold air, and I know it was a very cold series and the weather is starting to warm up here this weekend, but I also look at the fact that they hit, as a team, 165 in these 3 games, and yet you won 2 of them. You were 15 of 91 as a ball club over 3 games. You hit 165, and you went 2-1. So I don't know where you would put the fences, how you would go about reconfiguring it. It seems like the biggest issue is Triples Alley, right center. So you're going to move that in. Already you moved it in center field and created the garden out there, which seemed to help a little bit. But I don't know, Mark. I don't know if it's so much the ballpark issue or the fact that your lineup is probably not that full of power hitters. It's more powerful now than last year.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not suggesting reconfiguring the ballpark. The thing is a gem. It's a church. I love that place. I love that place as much as almost any non-home
right
I've ever been. I love that place. But it's not just the Giants. The other teams come in and it's always 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4-0. Almost always. You want to really get into why 2 years ago, the 107 wins, you want to get into why that was like everyone always called, it was an outlier. The biggest outlier of that year was not that the Giants won 107 games. It's that they were one of the top home run hitting teams in the bigs. How the hell did they do that? What the hell was going on?
Brandon Belt was finally healthy for a full year, and Buster Posey and Brandon Crawford had darn near career years. Mike Yastrzemski, what did he hit, 20?
I think he had 25.
Right. You had
25.
You had a number of guys who had breakout explosive years with the power stick. And, this year, off to a little bit of a quieter start. Certainly Yaz is. And Slates is yet to even, get much going. And
ain't going to hit yet.
Right. And it's a small sample, too small to really judge.
Yeah, I'm looking at their home run stats that year for the Giants. Belt was the leader with 29. Yes, Yaz had 25. Game show music, please. So I've already given you a couple. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Giants had double-digit home runs in 2021. I've given you 2. Dibs, how many of the other 8 can you name?
There's 8 more.
8 more.
That were in the double digits.
Double-digit home runs. I gave you a Belt with 29 and Yaz with 25. Those were the top 2. There are 8 more, including 1 more who was north of 20. Well, can you name them?
Crawford was one for sure because he was
24.
An MVP candidate of sorts. I'm trying to think of
these are some
late
fun
night.
names.
Lamont, I think, was on the team there, so I'll say Lamont Wade.
18 home runs.
Boy, Slates.
12 home runs.
Ooh,
nice job.
Was Longoria still on the team?
13 home runs.
Jeez. Oh, did I say Posey yet?
18 home runs. I was going to say, we had an obvious one.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Trying to stay hot here.
Yeah, you got 1, 2, 3 more.
Oh, boy.
You're 5 for 5.
And I'm running out of guys who I'm remembering were on that team.
It's about to get quirky.
Yeah. Boy. I don't think Tyro was yet on the scene, but I'm working my way through it. It's a radio show. I can't just sit here quietly, Chip. Come on. How about Wilmer Flores? He played, didn't he?
18 home runs.
All right.
2 more to go. 6 for 6.
Oh, boy.
I'll give you a clue.
Running out of names.
I'll give you a clue.
Okay.
Neither of the remaining 2 are still on the team.
Oh, boy. Jock Peterson? This is pre-Jock.
This was pre-Pusoidos.
I have another clue if you want it.
Go, Lucas. I'd love it.
One of them was a former friend of the radio station.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
He did a weekly.
Yeah.
And
he had a chant. There was a chant.
Eric Dickerson.
That's
Close.
a football player.
Oh, no, Alex Dickerson. Damn it.
Remember that great Philly cheesesteak commercial he had?
Yes,
It was the most awkward thing I'd ever seen.
Eric Dickerson. What's wrong with
Eric
you?
Dickerson is an incorrect answer. That's strike 1.
Oh,
but
God.
Alex Dickerson had 13 home runs. Uno más, Senor Dibley. Uno más. Can you name him?
How about Donnie Barrels? Donovan Solano.
Oh, Donovan Solano. That's a no. Donovan Solano had 7 home runs that year. 7 home runs. All right, you've got 2 strikes and only 1 guess remaining.
I mean,
by the way, Tyro Estrada was on the team. He was acquired that year, but he's not.
He's not the one.
No, he had 7.
Not okay.
He had 7 home runs.
Man, I'm running out of names here.
You sure are.
Yeah, boy. I don't know. Chadwick Trump.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Although he was on the team and did have 1 home run.
Attaboy, Chad.
This player played in Korea before coming back to the majors. Do you remember now?
I do.
Who?
Darren Ruff.
That's right.
I totally forgot about Darren
with
Ruff.
16
Dang it.
dingers.
Yeah.
For the
16.
2021 Gigantes with 107 wins.
And they hit, what, like 240 as a team or something crazy like that?
Their team batting average was...
not their average, their total home runs.
241.
Oh,
correct.
yeah.
It was 241. Wow.
41 home runs, one of which was hit by Logan Webb.
Okay, Logan.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
He was the only, he had the only pitcher home run.
Remember that when pitchers actually hit? And I do want to, yeah.
This goes down as the last home run a Giant pitcher ever hit.
That was the last year, pre-DH?
I think so, right? Then we go DH the next year.
I think he hit that in the last series of the year. I think it might be the last home run a pitcher has hit in the major leagues.
In all of the major leagues. Yeah.
And I just want to say this, spend 10 seconds on it, but I was wrong about the DH. I thought that I was going to miss pitchers hitting, just the purity of 9 in the field and 9 in the lineup, but I haven't really had a moment where I've thought, boy, I wish that we had a pitcher up there to stand there and basically do nothing. So, yeah, I was wrong on that.
All you got to do is watch highlights of Johnny Cueto pitching to realize you will never miss that ever again. Yeah, I don't miss. You know what I hate? When the table would get set, bases loaded, and 1 out. And you're like, this is a rally inning. And it's like, due up, the starting pitcher. Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
That's the end of that rally. It was over. It's okay. The Giants hitters find a way to end that rally anyway. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Upgrade your savings dividend. Open a First NorCal first-class money market today. Michael Conforto confirmed for 4:45. 4:45, Michael Conforto will be live on Willard and Dibs. Let's go to the phones. Nick in Berkeley. Hi, Nick. What are you doing?
I'm about to go to my softball practice, man, getting my Albany Cougars ready for our big game against Panola on Wednesday.
Okay, make sure you stretch, okay, Nick? I want you to stretch first.
Yeah, I'm 55. I got to be out there stretching. I'm going to fall over, man.
Yeah, right.
Hey, check it out. So message to all Giants pitchers, The home plate is there to tell you where not to throw the ball. Throwing Ohtani a bell-tie fastball directly down the middle of the plate is counterproductive to winning, dude. Like, I don't understand why these cats think they're throwing 103 when they're throwing mid-90s and they're getting shelled in a short porch in L.A. It's not smart baseball. I mean, come on, Melvin. You know what I mean? Do something. Bunt somebody over. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. You got to play smart. Like, what are these pitchers doing? You walk somebody with 2 outs and then you give up a grand slam in the first inning with 2 outs? That's like double catastrophe, man. That's 2 no-nos in 1.
Well, but you're blaming, but Nick, you're blaming Bob Melvin for pitchers missing their spots. And by the way, I'm with you. Keaton Wynn walks Ha-Seong Kim in a time where you definitely should have, you should have gotten one in there. But at the same time, he should have been out of that inning already because the ball got lost in the in the lights or the sun out there in center field by Jung-Hoo Lee.
Hey, he should have been working on that in batting practice before the game. You feel me? Or put up your glove. Like, you're not even running with your glove up like little kids get taught when in the 3rd grade. I mean, come on, man. I mean, you're a professional. Like, why? What is the pitching coach doing, man?
Nick.
Who is the pitching coach? I don't even know.
Nick, you can work in batting practice on something for 100 days in a row, and it's not going to allow a human being to be able to see a ball in the sun. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, you can be frustrated about stuff. I get it. But come on, man. Like, who are we? I just think you're finding things to blame people for.
Well, I mean, like, the Giants haven't been really doing too much winning of lately. So I'm really with Bob Melvin, though, because I couldn't stand the last coach. I can't remember his name. He's horrible.
Yeah.
So
his name
is Gabe
Kapler. Gabe Kapler. And Brian Price is the name of the pitching coach also, Nick.
Yeah, thank you, Nick.
All right, thanks,
and good luck against Pinole.
Big one tonight.
Rivalry game.
Big one tonight. Throw the records out.
You have to. It's that 80 corridor.
I don't know.
West Contra Costa County.
Are we supposed to be frustrated yet?
No. And you asked me about my frustrationometer about right field.
Yeah, you're impatient.
I'm at a 4.
Yeah.
I'm still very patient for a couple of reasons. One, Yaz provides much better defense than what Matos would provide at this point. And so in terms of defense, I think that's a big factor. Playing right field at Oracle Park can be a little bit tricky.
It's a big deal.
I think that having him out there right now is, even though he's a complete goose egg at the plate, he does have 1 hit. The fact that he's out there as a good defensive right fielder, to me, is more important than going through the trials and tribulations of a young player. And unless you're going to play Matos every day, for me, there's no sense in bringing him up. You don't want to bring him up and have him sit the bench.
Yaz.
Right, platoon, but he's on the back half of the platoon because you don't face that many lefties.
Right.
So he's going to sit a lot unless you have a left-handed pitcher out there. And as a young player, you don't want him to just be relegated to the pinch hitting role, which is what Austin Slater is actually really good at in theory. So right now, I'm willing to let this thing ride out all the way through April. Let's get to May and then take a look. If they're still hitting 038 as a tandem in right field at the end of April, then we can make a move, but not now.
I think you're right. And they've whittled down the platoons to basically 2.5. And I shouldn't even call it a half because it's not really fair.
First base?
No, catcher.
Okay.
Catcher. You're going to get, when lefties are in there, sometimes you're going to get a Tom Murphy, but that's also blended with just the fact that that's how catcher is in baseball now, is, every 2-3 days in a row, whatever, then you get a day off. So that's kind of the deal there. First base and right field are platoons. I'm not terribly put off by that, but they have shown that they are willing to go every day with a lot of players. I mean, my favorite thing maybe about this team so far offensively is that Michael Conforto's an everyday player, because I believe he's an everyday player. And I love this guy. He's a really good baseball player. What you're seeing from him so far this year, and I'm not saying this because he's joining us in a half hour, but what you're seeing from him this year is much closer to who he's been as a major leaguer than what you saw last year. Last year was a combination of getting moved around, platooned, and he was hurt. But Conforto, if he is healthy this year, I promise you something right now. That guy is absolutely hitting over 20 home runs. No question in my mind. If he plays north of 140 games. That guy's hitting 20-something, and who knows? He could even get 30.
Yeah.
But he's a very good player, and I love that they're like, dude, you're a left fielder. No Slater. I mean, every now and again, he's not in the lineup tonight, right? Is that what you said, Lucas? Who's playing out there tonight? Who's playing left field? Don't throw your palms up. You're the one that out of the lineup. What's the lineup say? Yeah, he's not playing tonight, though.
Right.
But I love that he's out there every day. You got a lefty on the mound, so what? Let Conforto go whack the ball into the outfield off of him, and that's what he's done so far.
Lamont is playing left because Flores is playing first.
Okay, so this is just a day off because they're putting another lefty out there. And it's a righty on the hill for the Nationals, I think, right? I think they got a right-hander on the hill tonight.
Trevor Williams.
Yeah, Trevor Williams. There you go.
I love the fact that you look at the stats for the Giants and you've got 7 guys in the order who have played 10 games. That tells me that you actually have a lineup. You don't have this patchwork, mix and match garbage that we've dealt with over the last few years with Gabe Kapler. Like you're saying, Conforto, you're our best hitter. Go ahead and hit. Go ahead and face lefties, face righties. Go out there and play. And, you've got Jung-Hoo Lee, who's going to play center field every single day.
Every day.
Your shortstop, your third baseman, your second baseman. You've got everyday players. And that's one thing that we all were clamoring for. And I know that fans were certainly hoping would come to pass. And so for me, the one platoon spot you have right now, it's a platoon spot because neither one of them is good enough to be that everyday guy. But I also don't think that Luis Matos is ready to come up and be that everyday guy.
Let's go to Marlon in Concord real quick. I want to say something about the ballpark thing that I brought up. Hey, Marlon, what's up?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, man.
The ballpark thing, I was just trying to, make a point that, it's really hard to hit in San Francisco with the marine layer, and we know this. You guys were breaking down all the home runs from the 107-win season. Half your games are at home. Half your games are on the road, and unfortunately, we don't. The Giants don't have a home like Yankee Stadium. That thing's a Fisher-Price Stadium, so they design stadiums to hit home runs. But on the opposite end, I think that it really is going to favor the pitchers. So with Blake Snell debuting tonight, I really think it's going to favor the pitchers. And if Snell has a good year, I think it'll attract more pitchers. And last thing I'll say is, I think with contracts changing a little bit more, like Chapman coming here on a 2-year deal, they want their numbers to look good because if he's not staying in San Francisco, he's got to make money elsewhere. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, Marlon, thanks so much. Appreciate that. No, I don't think it's that much of a deterrent to a lot of players, but some. And it can be a tiebreaker. I think JD Martinez was the one who this year, and it got taken completely out of context when someone reported that JD was like, I don't want to go to San Francisco, and the whole city thing came up again.
Right.
I guess what he was saying, no, I don't want to play in that ballpark because it's just not I'm a home run hitter, and it's not a good home run hitting ballpark. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing I don't think most of us want to do about it. But I do think that we need to start moving it up the board in terms of its importance in